What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Thea 2, The Shattering. The original Thea was a really cool sort of pseudo-grand strategy RPG game that I really liked. I haven't had a chance to dive into the second one as of yet, so I thought today might be a good day for a first impressions video. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Thea 2, The Shattering. So it goes in kind of a different direction from the first. Well, it's kind of like the first game, but like more expanded and with more things going on, in all honesty. But if you've ever played a grand strategy game before, it's kind of like Civilization meets Slavic fantasy and like an RPG. That's really all you need to know about it. It incorporates crafting, it incorporates kind of magical rituals and stuff that you can cast. You can build a city. If you don't want to build a city, you can just live your life as sort of camp-born wanderers and just wander around the map going on adventures. It's really up to you how you want to play this game. I put in about an hour before I did this video, and there's still a lot of things that I'm a little bit like confused about, or maybe I don't fully understand. But that being said, I did want to get a video out to kind of check out the game. So if after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I'll have a link for you down below in the description so you can check that out and wishlist it. Aside from that, you'll find a link to my Discord, you'll find a link to my Twitch stream, and you'll find a link to my Twitter. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll start a new game over here. Now, there are a number of gods that you can pick from when you first start out the game. They are gods for all kinds of things like knowledge, nature, war, famine, all that kind of stuff. You'll unlock them as you get further and further on into the game. You'll also get additional god points, which allow you to kind of like customize your start. And so anyways, all we have right now at the beginning is Zavanna. And apparently she is a nature goddess. That's what it looks like to me anyways. The general storyline of this game is that you and your other adventurers are chosen of this god. And so you're going out into the world basically to enact their will, to bring believers into the fold, and then to smite people that are using the goddess's powers for evil effectively. And so anyways, let's go ahead. This is kind of a confusing looking screen that's going to freak a lot of people out. Don't panic. I promise it's not that complicated. So I've gone ahead and I've removed all the cards real fast so that you can get a better idea of what's going on here. This is your god customization screen. So every time you start a game, you can customize in different ways. Some of those things are very simple. So for example, we can add a character, and that character is one of your champions. So we have like a craftsman, we have a gatherer, we have children, which will eventually grow up and they will become new adventurers under the watchful gaze of the goddess. We've got a scoundrel over here, we've got gatherers, we've got hunters, we've got warriors. These are basically chosen. If you look at the little icon at the top, only something that has that icon on it can go in this slot. And so this right here I think is best used for a hunter. The hunter is a really strong character when it comes to combat. Apparently we start out with animal senses, so animals, elves, and forest demons that you control have +1 to their main attribute. Their crafting attribute is decreased by 10%, but gathering is increased by 10%. So there you go. We can also take this right. All we really have for that is the gatherer, so we'll add a gatherer to our party real fast. And then we've got 4 slots here that we can do whatever we want to. That can be anything from bringing extra resources, so we can go with like Granny's Pantry, which lets us start with extra food and an extra piece of equipment, or we can go with extra gemstones and like an extra pet. It's really up to you what you want to do there. I would suggest that we get a warrior. We get 2 of them, so that's nice. I think that's what this little number right here means, that we get 2 warriors added to our party. I would say we should probably pick up a craftsman, just to make sure we have the ability to craft. I would say we probably get a gatherer, so that we can gather. Ooh, never mind, that's our point allotment right there. Okay, so instead, let's go with Granny's Pantry, I guess. And then we'll also go with, we can either take the extra gems, or we can get like a gatherer added on in maybe. But I'd have to remove something else to get the gatherer. I don't know if I want to bring kids along, so we'll go with the scoundrel instead. I've actually never played the scoundrel, so we see how he does. Let's go to the next, and we're starting the game off. So we get to choose our chosen right here. There's going to be a bunch of different portraits that we can pick from. If you wanted to go with like a human hunter, we have a gatherer, we can go with a warrior over here, we've got a craftsman, and we've got a scoundrel. I think I'll probably just go with another warrior, and then we can. Oh, he looks badass. Hell yeah! We're gonna give him a sick name like, Golrock. He looks like a Golrock, dude. Doesn't he look like a Golrock? Like he kind of has that Golrock-like appearance to me. Like nobody messes with him. And then we get to choose what kind of map we want to play on. You can go with small, medium, large. You can go with islands that are all over the place. and then you can have, like, Pangea, effectively, which is just one big mega continent. I guess we can go with islands for right now. It says that's for advanced players, so we'll go with Islandas and see how those go.
Well, hello there, Chosen. Welcome into the service of the gods. As I am a believer myself, I am happy to be the one to guide you.
So this is effectively the tutorial. You can follow this guy around and he'll give you a bunch of, like, beginner quests to kind of get you started. He's also giving you your cosmic seed. If you don't have a cosmic seed, basically you're going to make an idol to your god at some point, and when you make that idol to your god, it's going to form a city around it, basically. It's going to become like a holy place for all believers, a sort of Mecca or like a Jerusalem that all the believers will come to, and it'll grow from a village into a city, so on and so forth. We can skip it.
All right, all right. Just remember, without the cosmic seed, a special divine artifact, you cannot build a village. You are bestowed one now, and may try to gain another later, but they will never be plentiful. So take care where you choose to settle. And if you do not want to build a village, you may use the seed to craft a special object or resurrect a fallen friend. Now go, explore and conquer.
So that's pretty much the big choice you have to make. If you stay a wanderer and you don't have a city, you can use your seed to make like a legendary item, basically. You know, like a Mjolnir or like an Excalibur. Like something that basically shows that you're a chosen of a god of the Pantheon that will give you a big boost in strength that other people don't have, that sort of supports you in your decision to just like stay without a home. However, if you use it for a village, you get access to kind of gathering and crafting and all that kind of stuff that'll help boost you up as well. It's really up to you which way you want to go with it. At the beginning of the game, we've been given 10 wood, we've been given some fruit, and then we've been given some research points and some experience points. Sounds good. Here's our little party of adventurers. This game does have a fairly, like, busy UI, I guess. It's got things going on that I probably need to explain. So we have the seasons over here. We have what turn we're on. Each season is comprised of this little ring right here as it goes around, as far as I know. And then once it goes around all the way, turn by turn, you'll swap to the next season. Down here on the left, we have how big our group is, how far we can move. We've got how much fuel we have for our fire. We have how much food that we have at the moment. And then we also have our encumbrance, which is how much we're carrying around with us. Down here on the bottom, you can hide and kind of show resources if you want to. So if we wanted to, we could take our characters, we can move down and over to here. It's going to take us 2 of our MPs to go on over here, just simply because we're moving through forest. There's some clay on this side. There's like our little starter zone right there. You know, lots of things going on. We can also turn on and off the hexes if we want to. You can take a look at like your current island and how large it is, and it actually looks like a pretty big place. So I don't think we're going to feel too cramped while we're out here. There are a number of other menus that we can dive on into. Largely, there's the advancement screen. This is going to be our research that takes us forward and allows us to get access to new resources and things of that nature. So once you have enough advancement points, you can basically make it so that you can gather like dryad wood, elven wood, you can gather furs and leather, you can gather kind of steel and iron and stuff like that. Comes down to what you want to do with it. For now, I don't really know what I want to go after. We've got all the basic materials, and so until we actually end up needing like a further material, I'll probably leave it alone. Let's continue wandering. I'm a wanderer. I'm a wanderer. Oh, there's some little ratty boys over here. We could fight them, see if we get any resources off of them. Oh, they're running for it, dude. They don't want to fight with us.
Tradition has it, your god sent me to guide your first steps on this new and bewildering island. To get us started, check what resources you have near you. There's a toggle right next to the mini-map.
Okay, sure, why not, dude?
If you have food and wood, they are always good to stock up on. You need both to heal when camped, and you need a variety of foods to better heal your mental wounds and keep morale high. Oh, and do you know what it means that you are chosen?
I do.
Good. Finally, my first task for you.
Alright, he wants us to cook some food. We're gonna use up, so it's gonna take like all of our time in this video if I listen to all that voice acting. I do appreciate the fact that they went to the effort to put it inside the game, but since we've only got like 25, 35 minutes to play around with the game, it becomes one of those situations where I'm like, alright, well, let's just breeze through this real fast. He wants me to cook food. This is the crafting menu and the gathering menu. There's no nearby resources, so we're not going to be able to gather too much. The game's pretty simple and linear. Every character has stats, and those stats determine how much they can gather and how good they are at crafting. So as you can see, like our warriors and stuff, they're kind of terrible at gathering because they're the brute force of this operation. Whereas like some of our other characters who are weak in combat, they're very, very good at gathering. We need to go down to the cooking menu, and we're going to go to New Task, and we are going to tell them to make some cooked meat. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. There you go. All good to go. Oh, we need a secondary material, too. I'll put the berries in there. So apparently we're making a rolanda. It's a nice chunk of meat rolled with veggies, herbs, or anything else you find. That actually sounds pretty delicious. So what you're telling me is that's a cinnamon roll made out of meat. I like this idea. I'm a fan. So we confirm that. We're going to need to assign 2 people to work on this. Our best craftsmen are her and him. And you're going to need actually 50 progress to get this done. So, like, we only need the 1 person assigned. As you can see, she added her 88 to the 0 out of 50 that needs to get done. And then they'll cook this when I end the turn.
Yummy.
There you go. And so he gave us a whole bunch of beer, Rolf. He gave us some of his nut tincture. So, like, one thing about this demon is that I feel like he's up to something. The first thing he did was he gave us his seed when he arrived, and now he's giving us his nut tincture. I don't know if I like this. He wants me to go check out a village, so we're gonna go check that out. We got a little bit more research, and it looks like our quest is kind of like down this way in this area. So we're gonna break camp real fast. There we go. We have broken camp, and then we're gonna just kind of walk on by, go find some questies.
You find Theodore's abandoned house. It is nestled amongst some trees and looks rather old. Inside, the place is surprisingly lived in and well taken care of. There is even a fireplace. You hear an old woman's voice croak at you.
Well, 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 dinner guests. How splendid. Do come and stay forever.
I just want to give this voice actor props. I'm pretty sure this one voice actor did like all of the voices for like the entire game, and he like actively swaps between them during like conversations and whatnot. Props to you, man. Get out there and get it. We see you hustling.
There is no way out. The doors are gone. You will have to face this hag to escape.
All right, let's fight her. So this is the game's combat. The game's combat is kind of interesting. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's kind of a mixture of like, so I know you see cards right here, but it's not really a card game. It's a little bit like Gwent in the sense that it's all about like you place things in locations to counter what your opponent has placed in their locations. And so we have like 6 placement turns right here. So it goes back and forth with the AI and us placing our units. And then when it gets to these right here, we have 2 rounds of combat basically. And the combat basically auto-unfolds. Like, there's not a whole lot of... You do have some interactivity when it comes to special abilities that may proc, or, like, ranged attacks that may go off. You can choose where they go or who they target. But by and large, most of the combat seems to be just an auto-battler. So basically, the way this works, we're on our first round right now. We've got 1 AP that we can play around with. We have varying characters over here. They all do different stuff. The thing you want to pay attention to is in the top left corner of the card. It'll tell you where they are placed in the battlefield. So this person is front line. This person right here targets anybody, and he goes in the back line. This person right here is front line and attacks the closest front line. This person is ranged, and so he'll get to pick his target because he's in the back line, and so on and so forth. Other things to pay attention to is you've got this little stat right here. This is going to be delay. This delay right here is basically your initiative. So delay is their initiative stat. Characters with better delay go first when it comes to the exchange of blows, and characters with worse go last. This skull right here is how much damage they deal. So she deals 4 damage with her basic attack. You can modify this number by giving them equipment and by giving them stuff like shields and weapons and things. I don't know what that little paw print is right there, but really the first thing that we want to do is we're going to want to put Golrock in. His cost is 1 AP. There's 1 AP right there, so we take Golrock. You want to pick what way you want to deploy him. So we can go shields up right here. It increases the shielding of a chosen couple friendly targets if you want to. Or we can go with a weapon attack, which means that he attacks the person in front of him for 7 damage. We can go with a line charge, and so he'll attack 2 opponents in a vertical line. Maybe we'll wait on him, actually. Maybe we'll wait and we'll put down a ranged character first, since ranged characters have a little bit more control over who they attack. We'll put a ranged character in the back, because she can attack anybody anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. So that character's gone down right there. That should be perfectly fine. Now we can play our warrior, because I can virtually assure you that this hag is going to put some kind of pet or like magical thing in front of her, and then he'll get the full bonus of being able to charge into battle. Now, you may have noticed that when we play cards, they don't go out of our hand. There is a reason for that. Their price goes up, and actually we can play multiple goal racks if we want, and we can play multiple hunters if we want. It really comes down to what you want to do. I'll probably place him. He has to go single front. He can summon a creature. Okay, yeah, summon a critter. Oh, cool. He summons a boar, dude. We've got like a piggy dude over here. I didn't even know that he could do that. He's like the hog whisperer, man. He just goes out in the woods and plays a little toot-toot horn, just and like a pig's just like, whee, and comes running out of the bush. We got 2 more APs over here. I think it's a good idea for us to play a secondary goal rack. We'll place him right there, and then I think we've got most of our bases covered. As you can see, we're moving up the track right here, so our opponent has 2 more placements. We have 1 more placement. Luckily, we are very, very strong in combat, so like we should be fine. I'm going to put in a secondary hunter, I guess, right here. We'll go for ranged attack right there, and then we'll end that turn on up. They're going to place probably 1 more thing. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, so we're resolving the battle now. The pig has attacked the rat right there and done 3 damage, it looks like. The rat attacks back, does 2 damage, so they're just going to skirmish with each other. 2 damage has gone out right there, and then he's going to hit for 2, apparently. And then now we are on 1 of our archers. So yeah, just go ahead and fire to the back line, I guess. So there you go, fire to the back line. It's going to affect everything back there. It's basically volley fire, so don't worry about it too much. The rat is now dead because Golrak attacked. We got to pick another target over here. That's fine by me. It hits like everything in the row, so like it's going to resolve itself one way or another anyways. There goes a little bit more damage, so the back line has been wiped out by this leftward Golrak right here. And then actually the pig may, I was going to say the pig may kill off the rat right there, so we're good to go.
And the hut changes back into an old, decrepit building.
Apparently, we looted 6 herbs right here, so we beat up an old lady in the middle of the woods and we stole her weed.
Theodore appears.
Well done indeed. As chosen, it is your job to stay alive. You must either dominate the lands or solve the Shattering's mystery, or else all is lost. And for that, you must live. I shall be back soon to give you a final task.
He disappears.
Off he goes. And we got a little bit more research and a little bit more XP right there, but nobody leveled up. There's some rats on this side. I actually kind of want to go fight them. I mean, are there any resource? Oh, no, dude. Apparently right-click moved me right there. We also have deer over here. I mean, I guess we have deer over there, too. It doesn't really matter. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, I guess I'll make a camp then. We did take a little bit of damage, so, like, why not? We could put some gatherers on resources, too. So you guys go get some meat, and then you guys go get some veggies, I guess. And we'll just kind of see how much we pull from the land here. Alright, so the rats have returned. It doesn't really give... Oh, there it is right there on that right-hand side. So we got 10 meat and we got 10 vegetables. Very nice. I've been, like, eyeballing these vermin over here. So, like, I'm thinking I'm going to go after them. Let's break camp real fast and see if we can go get those rats right there. I'd like to fight them. A pack of beasts approaches. Oh, we can stalk the beasts and hunt them down. Oh, okay, so we can take basically, okay, so there's 2 choices here. There's different kinds of combat. There's melee combat and there's intellectual combat, effectively. So physical challenges and mental challenges. We're agreeing to take on a mental challenge right here. If I auto-resolve it, it's a flawless victory. Well, then I accept the outcome. We get 6 meat, we got 3 bones, and we got a little bit of leather. And we got some XP to go with, so that's pretty cool. If we take a look at our character list over here, you will find that everybody needs 7 XP in order to level up. What is this right here? An amber wand. Oh, we have a magic wand for somebody, and apparently it stacks with their wit stat. This is a very, very complicated menu right here. Basically, all you need to know is that where it says, like, weapon, That's like how powerful the skill is going to be. Down beneath that, it'll give you kind of a subset of what it does. So there's like a little picture of a wand with kind of like a little purple thing next to it. What that means is that this weapon is going to get the multiplier that's next to the skull. So it says it gets like a times 1.4. It basically means that it multiplies the damage of this thing by whatever your wit stat is. You'll get how it works once you fiddle around with it. So like, if you've got a strength of 11 and it says it gives you like a 2.3 multiplier when you equip that on a character, it basically means that they get 2.3 times their strength added to the damage that's already innate to the weapon. So it takes some head scratching, but I figured it out. There's also, if you get confused with this game, there are a ton of guides. Like, this game has a very passionate community, and so there's a ton of guides just on the Steam community hub. Make sure you check those out as well. They were a huge help to me when I was trying to learn how to play the game and figure out how everything worked. There is a ruin over here. We could check this out. You come across the ruins of a town. It was torn asunder by the shattering, clearly, but more than that, there's an odd light beaming from the gash. Okay. Let's search the place carefully. You find tracks of people going in one direction away from this place, but the footprints are odd, as though their steps were made in unison like an army. Yet you see children, folk with injuries, and even dogs following the same pattern. Let's follow the tracks. You follow the tracks and find a group of folk, their eyes empty of light, their limbs slacking yet not slow. They stare at you and walk away, but a group of light wisps shoots your way. I guess I gotta fight against some will-o'-the-wisps. Some Williams of the Wisp. Some Bill of the Wisps. Oh, that guy's actually pretty tough right there. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to play Goal Rack out here, dude. We got to do it. Let's throw him on out there. Defend thyself. We're going to reinforce this line pretty heavily, actually. There we go. We'll see what he decides to do. Okay. So he sped up that character so that he deals damage a little faster. This guy's doing an AoE, so ideally we'd prefer not to put anybody next to him. I'm going to take you, and we're going to put you just kind of like over here, I guess. Alright, so on our next turn, we've got 2 AP to play around with. I'm a big fan of the strat that we ran before, which is just using our really, really strong units to get some leeway. I get the feeling that the AI doesn't have the AP to do what it wants to do. Yeah, I was going to say, they're skipping turns on their placements. For you right here, you deal 6 damage ranged. Well, go for it, cousin. I like that idea. More range, the better. So the battle's going to start off. I think these guys are probably going to act first, and it looks like they hit us with a little bit of poison right there. That's okay because our armor soaked it. We threw out a counterattack for 2 damage. Yeah, let's fire an arrow over to there. Let's get this front line cleared out first. So there's a little bit of damage out. A little bit of damage taken. I can live with it. 7 damage out to everybody. Actually, we're doing pretty good right now. I'm not upsetty spaghetti by the way that this is going. We actually stomped them out pretty good. Let's see. You defeat the light creatures and find no trace of the others. We got a scaled leather. It looks like we got some quartz, and then it looks like we got an amber. It looks like we've received a spiritual blessing as well. So a blessing of the spirit. It's going to increase our destiny. It's going to increase our mysticism. I think our destiny is for crafting and for like searching and stuff like that. And then our mysticism is for doing rituals and casting spells. Not really that helpful for this particular group, but we did get a whole bunch of XP and we got a research material. So research materials are like these very important items that you can assign people in your party to research in order to like rapidly kind of escalate your movement up the tech tree. I don't know what a Sviatelko is, but we found one. The XP is actually what I'm most stoked about. We got a whole bunch right there. Looks like there's like an emerald mine over here. Yeah, it looks like there's like a gemerald mine on this side. I kind of want it. All right, let's take a look at our, let's see here. Is our research thing inside of here? Oh, apparently what we picked up, a Sviatelko, is a demon made out of light. And we can use it if we are kind of like light wizards to scout for victims effectively. We can use it as kind of a scout. Nice. We have the material collected. It looks like if we complete the research, we get a 15% power bonus when we auto-resolve. So that kind of, I'm a big user of auto-resolve in most games, unless it's like a really, really bad auto-resolve system. So like, I think that's actually probably pretty helpful. It looks like we're stuck for the day, and there's not much that we can do here. So we can research a creature over here. It's going to take us a lot, though. Okay. Like, we actually got to kind of, like, dig into that right there. We also have rituals over here that we can complete, and it looks like we only have the ritual of spiritual healing as of right now. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, this game is really in-depth. Like, it's got a lot of stuff going on. Even before you ever get to kind of like the city building portion of the game, like, there's so much gathering and crafting and, like, things you can do. I could definitely tell that this is one of those games that's for, like, numberheads, like, people that really, really like playing this kind of stuff. And honestly, I kind of dig it, too. I get kind of, I get vexed by games that have like a lot of depth and a lot of things going on, and I find that what I do is I start over and over again, and each time I restart I only focus on one aspect of the game, like crafting or like gathering, and then once I fully learned everything about that, I kind of restart again and I focus on the next thing until I have like a good idea how everything works, and that's when my real playthroughs start. And it's kind of like an exhausting process, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little bit exhausting. We can probably do some cooking, in all honesty. We've got like a whole bunch of meat and we've got a whole bunch of berries, so like, yeah, dude, confirm the rolladas. There we go. Honestly, if I can have them cook multiple rolladas, that would be even better. So with the 2 tasks, yeah, we've got multiple cooks, so why not? You spot some rabbit tracks in the area, and your hunters think that they can try to catch some. Yeah, set the traps. Flawless victory, there you go. One thing I do really, really like about this game is, did you notice when we auto-resolved, it tells you how well you succeeded at auto-resolving, and then it gives you the full option to go back and manually fight the battle if you want. That to me is just like, mwah, that's perfect game design. Like, so many games, when they have auto-resolve, they force you to lock into whatever results you get, even though you have no idea really what's gonna happen. And if the battles tend to be like very trivial or kind of like tiresome, like, I don't particularly enjoy the combat system in this game. It's okay, but I would have preferred something with like a hex grid and actual characters moving around with different abilities, like turn-based style. Like, And so, like, I'm going to auto-resolve because the combat just doesn't appeal to me, but I do like it that if you get a really, really bad result on the auto-resolve, they'll be like, you know, do you want to play this manually? I think that should be sort of the standard for any kind of turn-based combat. You're in luck. The traps caught prey and it wasn't stolen. We got 6 bones and we got 11 meat. All right, I'll tell you, and we got some XP. Did anybody level up from that?
A little time to get your bearings. How about doing me and your gods a bit of a favor, eh? You'd have to go to a place and deal with some trouble.
And there it is. Okay, we'll go deal with some trouble. Basically, I've played this quest before. One of the chosen from our faction has like gone rogue and fallen away from basically the god's glory and has been being heretical, and so we got to go hunt him down and kill him. Although one thing I do like about this game is that they usually give you like 5 or 6 different options for how you want to resolve situations like this. You can kill, you can not kill, you can talk them out of it. We got some level ups here. The level up system's pretty simple. Basically, when everybody levels up, it'll give you 3 choices of stats, and you just pick which one you want to increase. So Modley Boga is our hunter, and so ideally we would want her to have perception, which from her unit card right here, you can see that her perception is like worlds above everything else that she has. So we'll take perception right there. Vislava appears to be... What does Vislava do? Vislava is a craftsman. Okay. And a gatherer. Okay. So anything that helps out with gathering and crafting. So we've got wisdom over here, which helps out with that. We've got intelligence, which helps with research and crafting. And we've got wits, which defines how fast that you work. We'll go with wisdom on you. Golrock, obviously, we're going to want strength on Golrock. Like, that's kind of... I mean, wisdom, if we had this right here, I would actually do that because he's kind of slow, and speeding him up would be a good idea. But we'll go with the strength for right now, so the multiplier from his weapon gets better. This guy is all about wisdom. So I assume that he's a mystic and or a gatherer. It looks like he's a pretty strong crafter, actually. Okay, so we'll give him a little bit more wisdom. And then Milislav. Milislav, it looks like he's got stats and intelligence. It looks like he's just all over the place. He's got a little bit of everything. So we could take him kind of in a casting direction. We could take him in kind of like a wisdom direction. Really, he's kind of a blank slate. We can do pretty much whatever we want with him, in all honesty. Like, he's not going to suffer regardless of what we pick. So we can increase his mysticism, which he has a pretty high stat in, make him better at researching and rituals and faith. We can kind of make him a pseudo-caster. We could go with wisdom. or we can go with intelligence. I kind of like the idea of our scoundrel being sort of like this this traveler. I kind of like the idea of our rogue or like our scout being kind of like this mysticism-laced traveler, I guess. And then we got another page over here. So Kreslava, it looks like she's actually very, very wise. So we're going to want to... Oh, she only gets a +1 for that? Okay, we'll give her the +2 then, just to make her a little bit better at stuff. Yeah, she's good at crafting, so that'll help out. And then over here, we've got Tasia. Tasia's good at gathering. Okay, so Destiny is our big stat, and that's probably what I'll go with then. Yeah, and we'll go with the Destiny right there. And everybody's been leveled up. So anyways, I feel like we didn't really get to dive into this as deeply as I would have liked to. But this is Thea 2. Thea 1 is also a really, really good game. Thea 1 is a lot less polished, I guess. It's a little bit rougher, but it's still a very interesting take on Civilization-style gameplay with like an RPG bent to it. This game goes in much more of an RPG direction because I think they wanted to make the wandering life much more viable, I guess. But anyways, I've been enjoying my time. I found that all the assets and the voice acting and everything else are very, very high quality. I like the art style. I like how customizable all the characters are. I like that they give you multiple paths for resolving quests that are not necessarily violent. I do like the way that you gather and you craft, and there's just so many things to play around with in this game that honestly it's very, very difficult to like touch on it all. As an added bonus, they've also been doing free DLCs for this game, which one just dropped recently. So check it on out. Thea 2. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today we're playing Thea 2. Tomorrow it will be something else. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.